Howdy, thanks for watching Beck TV. This is Dakota Cowboy. I'm Wild Bill, the media director at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and together with Tisa Peak, we are your hosts for Dakota Cowboy. Thanks for watching. We're presented to you each and every week by our great friends at Dakota Community Bank and Trust. And by the way, they are hiring customer service representatives. Find more information on their website, dakotacommunitybank.com, or stop in to any one of their locations and pick up an application and find out more about what a great organization they are at Dakota Community Bank and Trust. You like rodeo on TV? Well, we've got it for you. We've got exciting NDRA rodeo action all summer long. And we'll be in Bowman on May 27th for the Bowman County Fair and Rodeo. Tune in, tell your friends to tune in, and you will enjoy watching exciting NDRA rodeo action all summer long right here on Beck TV. Do we ever have a program for you today? Tisa Peak will be visiting with 3 more high school rodeo athletes who have a very promising future in rodeo and a very promising future in academics. They are great kids and can't wait for you to meet them. They'll be coming up in our next segment. And we also will be featuring Miss Rodeo America 1983. Brenda Lee Bonagofsky-Pickett will be featuring 4-time world champion saddle bronc rider Brad Germundson. We'll be featuring novelist Louis L'Amour. And the 40th President of the United States of America, Ronald Reagan. Wait until you hear that story. It's amazing. And some great vintage footage as well. And we were saddened to learn of the passing of Larry Mahan. And today we'll pay tribute to Larry Mahan, who spent time with us at the 2017 induction ceremony. Rest easy, Cowboy. That'll be coming up, brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center. So we're going to take a little break here, but we'll be right back with more exciting stuff from Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Man has worked in sync with Mother Nature since the beginning of time. Relying on her to provide sufficient moisture every growing season is a roll of the dice. You can now insure your pastures and rangelands with Rainfall Index policy available from Chamely Financial. This will give you the peace of mind by knowing you will be protected from the adverse effects of Mother Nature. Contact Chamely Financial today, 719-338-3428, or go to chamelyfinancial.com.
We're the Ladies of Another View. Join us at 9 a.m. weekday mornings.
We'll discuss issues you care about from local and national perspectives.
You'll hear unique stories from fellow North Dakotans, plus topics in the national spotlight.
Start your day off right with Ladies of Another View.
Weekdays at 9 a.m. on Beck TV and online at beck.news.
Beck News is your leader in local. Beck specials and live information for you. Original programming. Exclusive local sports. Beck is local for you. Uncensored topics and uncensored opinions. Unapologetic politics, where all sides are represented. Full episodes online anytime at beck.news. All in one network. Your leader in local, Beck News.
Whether you have guns, ammo, vehicles, toys, or collectibles, consign with Last Chance Auction and we can help put money in your pocket. Give us a call at 334-SOLD or visit lastchancesd.com for upcoming auctions.
Hi, Rich from Law Motors. 45 years ago, Dad started selling cars. 35 years ago, I started selling cars. And 15 years ago, Tyler started selling cars.
And I'm Mom, and I told all of them, just be nice.
JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision has built a reputation as one of the most reputable and reliable body shops in this region. With nearly 30 years in business, customers count on JR's to get it done right the first time. They'll work with your insurance company to smoothen the process. From their 40-foot frame straightening machine, Sickens paint, and the latest technology in the repair industry, they're the only name you need to know. For auto, semi, RV, and trailer repair, it's JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision, North Dickinson. Call 701-483-6778. JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision. Thank you for watching Dakota Cowboy here on Beck TV, presented each week by our friends at Dakota Community Bank and Trust. And I'm so glad that you're here because Tisa has worked very, very hard on this next segment for us today. You see, at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, we have a philosophy: honoring the champions in our past, supporting the champions in our future. You may have seen Tisa's conversation last week with Ray North Dakota High School senior Bailey Grove in front of the display that we have at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame for junior high and high school rodeo athletes. Tisa sets the bar even higher today as she visits with 2 North Dakota High School seniors and 1 North Dakota High School sophomore who have a very bright future in the sport of rodeo and in the field of academics.
Hey everybody, I am joined with Faith Heim. We're at the Fargo High School Rodeo, the first one of the season, and her horse, what's your horse's name?
Minion.
Minion, I knew that. And yesterday she actually had a whooping run. She won the barrels with a 12.6. Pretty consistent today at 12.6. We think it might hold up winning it. Anyway, you're going to be top 2 or 3. But the thing about Faith is she's from outside of Bismarck. And Faith is a senior. She's participated in North Dakota Junior High Rodeo, High School Rodeo. And you come from an interesting, you guys feed out some heifers and stuff. Mm-hmm. So let's just talk a little bit about your background in that, and then we're gonna talk about the barrel horse.
Yes, so what we do is we train a lot of young colts, and we take them up into the feedlot and we ride them around a lot, and we sort heifers, we heat detect heifers, we breed heifers for people.
And this is at your home place?
Yep.
Okay,
so
with your mom and dad?
Yep. And we have a feedlot in our backyard, and so we take our young colts and we sort with them and get ready for the breeding season.
Well, and that's really busy right now.
Yes, for sure.
So Faith is a cowgirl in and out every month of the year. So this barrel placing this year has been extremely emotional and rewarding because Minion's been known to be a great horse, but he was off for a while.
Yes.
And tell us about the 9 months of rehab that went on with this barrel horse.
So at Nationals, we had our first run. We ended up getting 6th in the round, and then
and Nationals this past year.
Yep.
In Rock Springs.
In Gillette.
Gillette. Okay.
Yep. In Gillette, and he kicked the stall. One of the horses reached over and bit him, and so he kicked the stall, and he ended up fracturing one of his hocks and hurting his suspensory. And we didn't know that he had fractured his hock right away. And so we rehabbed him. We did chiropractic, shockwave, PMF therapy, and then got him ready for this coming fall. And then he started feeling lame again, and we realized that he had a fractured hock. So then we did all the therapy all over again, and then this spring now I finally got to ride him.
Finally, what a wait. Well, it was well worth it, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Faith also swings a rope too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about breakaway roping and how it's evolving?
I feel like it's amazing. I think it's awesome that girls have another event to do. It's also super good to be in diverse events. It helps riding skills, I think, for sure.
Couldn't agree more.
Yes.
Couldn't agree more. So Faith, I know you're a senior and you're going to make North Dakota proud. Which college did you choose to go to?
I chose to go to Sheridan College in Wyoming.
Okay.
It's a super nice college. It's gorgeous down there.
And kind of a community college,
Yes.
a smaller college?
Yep. I'm going to go for an ag business degree. That degree you actually can get a 4-year if you would like.
Wonderful.
So I'm super excited to bring him down and see how he does at the college level.
So, yep, you're going to be rodeoing at college. And your brother's down there too, right?
Yeah, he's in Torrington.
So she has an older brother, Chase, who's cowboy through and through as well.
Yeah.
Well, Faith, I know you got to take care of Minion, and good luck the rest of the season. We will talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hey everybody, we are live at Valley City. We're actually at the high school rodeo. This is Fargo's High School Rodeo. I'm joined with senior Cole Gerhardt. Thanks for having me get to follow you today.
You're welcome.
Anyway, we have not only a rodeo superstar, but a 4-time state champion wrestler. In high school Class B, what weight division was that?
138.
And you're from, you wrestle for Almont.
New Salem.
New Salem, that's correct. And you just signed on with the college.
Montana State University.
And are you going to wrestle there or just rodeo?
Just rodeo.
Okay. Cole does a lot of events in high school rodeo. Today we're starting with the bareback riding, and he's just going to touch a little on your Regan and bareback riding 101 for people all over North Dakota that might not know everything about it.
Well, here's my Regan.
Okay.
Usually me, I like to get my hand tight enough so I don't ever blow my hand out and fall out the back door and end up getting kicked or anything. So just, it looks like a suitcase handle kind of Regan.
Is this custom made to you? Or did you buy this for someone?
I got this from Barstow.
Okay.
And then I fit it to fit my hand.
Okay. And this goes on the withers of the horse.
Yep.
In the chute. And then we have protective vest in your glove. Let's see that.
Right here.
Okay. What's on this glove? Baby powder or rosin?
Rosin.
Okay. And that just helps it stick a little bit?
Yep.
Okay. Cole, when you get on the wrestling mat or you get on the top of a bucking horse, what's the adrenaline rush you feel? Why do you keep putting yourself in a physical harm's way, should we say?
It helps me get excited every time I step in there. Then gets me motivated and pumped up, so just trying to have fun and do the best I can.
And you're in shape from the winter, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to someone on the way here, one of your fellow competitors, and he said, you should ask him how many state titles in his life has he actually won. Do you even know that number?
I don't know.
A lot. We might have to check the books on that one. And you've also talked before, you've had a lot of mentors along the way, as far as rodeo coaches, people helping you in the bareback riding. Cole also does a lot of other events. He tie down ropes, steer wrestlers, team rope, and bareback.
And then cut.
And he also does the cutting. So we have every event in this arena Cole is involved in, or every side of the arena, should I say. What about the wrestling coaches?
Dave Olding helps me a lot of it, and wrestling help with mental game and like help motivate me, because a lot of the things that you do in wrestling, it's a lot of people
parallel to rodeo.
Yeah, it helps.
And he really supports your rodeo, doesn't he? And your family.
Yep.
I might interview your grandma today. I don't know. I love her, and his family supports him 100%. So, Cole, what are your goals for this spring or even in the future? What do you see today at this high school rodeo happening?
Just do the best I can and let the chips fall where they lie and just have fun.
Perfect. Well, we admire your hard work. We will see you on the next bareback horse. Thank you. Hey everyone, I am joined with Paige Delaney. She is Alexander Cowgirl. She goes to school there, and she is a sophomore. Yeah. We're at the high school rodeo, and you're in multiple events. Do you want to tell me about which events you're in and which ones you like the most, and then we're going to touch on something big.
Okay. Well, I do breakaway and team rope, and I barrel race and pole bend with my yellow mare here behind me.
That's right. And you're a cowgirl every single day. Mm-hmm. Your grandparents have a ranch, and you live there with your mom and dad, and everybody in the family is raising livestock and doing their thing, right?
Yep.
But what happened lately with Paige was a big thing. She is a national champion, and tell us about this national championship that just happened.
So I'm in a contest in 4-H. I participate in the range judging contest, and we recently won state as a team of 4. There's 4 of us. And then we got the chance to go to nationals again, and this year our goal was to win nationals and take home the trophy. So
this was your second year at nationals?
Yep.
And what was the contest for?
It was for land, range, and home site, and we participated in the ranch portion of it.
So what did that involve? You were judging ranch land. I mean, what does a contest like this require? What kind of knowledge?
It requires some mathematics. I mean, we calculate the carrying capacity of the pasture, and you have to identify 100 or so plants to pick out which ones are good for the animals and which ones aren't.
100 plus plants. Wow, that's amazing. And is this all North Dakota land, soil that you have to be familiar with, or is it just maybe the region?
In North Dakota during state, it's all North Dakota land, but once you go down to Oklahoma, it's a whole new all different grasses, all different soils, a little bit different contests put together.
So what did you do to prepare for this? Was it learning from your grandparents on the ranch and your parents and study, or was it all on your own?
Well, my mom actually told me I had to do range judging when I was little, and I've been doing it since I first started 4-H, was probably when I was 8. So I have a coach named Morgan, and she's the one that got me started. And one of my teammates, Luke Smith, he made flashcards, so I made flashcards along with him, and that's how I got my characteristics down, so I didn't have to worry about that part when I got down there.
Oh my goodness. What was one of the most challenging questions you heard when you were at Nationals? Like, give us a for instance of a question, because I have no idea.
So when the contest is, you don't talk to anyone, it's kind of your own, like, you got to think, you got to read the plants, you got to read the land. And the worst part, or the hardest part, I guess it wasn't the worst, but was judging the sites, deciding if the cows would be able to eat there for long enough for that land to hold them up for 1 or 2 months.
Oh wow, incredible. So where is a place we could further research this if we were interested in learning about management of our herd or anything like that?
Well, we went on Oklahoma State University. That's where we looked at plants and learned their characteristics.
Okay.
But if you go there are probably some few articles on it.
Well, Paige, how do you think you're going to use all this knowledge that you're learning at such a young age in your life as far as running the ranch or having a future career in the ag industry?
Well, I plan to be still in the agriculture industry when I'm older, so I'm going to plan to use it for better healthy cows and keep my land as healthy as I can.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you're going to stay in North Dakota with us forever, right?
I don't know about that one.
You might have to, but anyway. Okay, let's talk little rodeo. So I watched you make a really great team rope and run yesterday. Paige is a really good header. She's not going to share that with the world, but she also is a big sister, so she has a lot of responsibilities there and a lot of responsibilities on the ranch. But why do you rodeo? What do you get out of being one with your horse, or what's your thing?
Ever since I was little, I've loved horses, and I had this wonderful little pony named Palsy, and he really set me on, like, this is what I want to do. He taught me everything I know, and my grandparents, they've taught me how to train the colts and work with them, and I've really found enjoyment in that. Like, when I have a bad day, I go to my horses, and it just makes me feel better, and so I love taking them here and trying to show them off as much as I can.
I think it's mutual. They like to show off too. Well, I have something in common with a national champion. Paige, we are so proud of you, and again, we are visiting her grandpa in the near future because he has a wagon train of horses, and I've been out to their ranch, and it is quite the place to be. So thank you, Paige.
Yes, you're welcome.
Paige, Faith, Cole, congratulations. Thanks for being a part of our show today. We wish you the very best of luck at all the rodeos you enter this summer. And we are very, very proud of you at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. And Tisa Peak, I think you're having just as much fun as anybody in putting these stories together. Thanks for a great report. Looking forward to where you're going to take us next. Tisa Peak from Dakota Horse Magazine. What a great addition to our program. Well, my fellow Americans, coming up next, we have something very, very special, including former President Ronald Reagan. Here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Improve your home or business with services from Zaka Remodeling and Construction. Whether you need windows or doors repaired, replaced, or installed for your residential or commercial property, Zaka Remodeling and Construction can help. Our local and family-owned business offers flexible hours and over 10 years of experience in the industry. We are your local Pella expert. Pella is rated #1 in highest quality and innovation by homeowners across the country. Feel confident when you choose Pella and Zaka Remodeling. Contact us today for a free estimate. Zaka Remodeling and Construction.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
The dictionary defines community as a group of people living in the same place or sharing common goals. Community is the largest part of our name, and we make it the largest part of our business. We support our local schools, organizations, youth programs, and local events from Bowman to Bismarck, because we all share a common goal to better the quality of life in our communities. Come bank with us at Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your real community bank.
Medora Boot and Western Wear open year-round in historic Medora. You'll find quality items for cowboys and cowgirls of all ages. Medora Boot and Western Wear has over 1,500 pair of boots on hand at all times. New this year, the R. Watson brand of boot, featuring an all-leather heel, riveted shank, and a 10-iron leather sole. Jeans, shirts, hats, caps, and more, and customer service is #1. Medora Boot and Western Wear in historic Medora.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Rewriting Hollywood's script for our kids. I'm pop culture expert Tina Griffin, and as a former Hollywood actress, I'm giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how today's entertainment is eroding the foundational development of America's youth and how to safely navigate this pop culture chaos. Knowledge is power. Parents want solutions. It's time to get the power back in your hands and reclaim the right to decide who and what should influence your kids.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Central Time on Beck TV.
Thanks for sharing your Sunday evening with us here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Recently, I was going through the archives at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and I came across a homemade DVD with the words 1983 Command Performance Rodeo written on it. Didn't think a whole lot about it initially, and it sat on my desk for a few days. When I finally got around to viewing the disc, I knew I had stumbled onto something significant. The Command Performance Rodeo was put on by the PRCA on September 24, 1983 at Landover, Maryland's Capitol Center. The rodeo featured 2017 Hall of Honorees inductee and 1983 Miss Rodeo America Brenda Lee Bonagofsky-Pickett from Carson, North Dakota. 2009 Hall of Honorees inductee and four-time world champion saddle bronc rider Brad Germundson of Marshall, North Dakota. And 1998 Hall of Honorees inductee Louis L'Amour of Jamestown, North Dakota. Mr. L'Amour was presented with a special Congressional Gold Medal, the very first novelist ever to receive such a distinction. I contacted the PRCA to secure permission to use the footage from this video, and Amy Fast, who is the Digital Assets Manager, realized we had something kind of special. They even ran a story on it in the Pro Rodeo Sports News. Today, Dakota Cowboy is very proud to bring you portions of the 1983 Command Performance Rodeo, particularly North Dakota's representation in that event. We begin with the opening ceremonies as announcer Clem McSpadden introduces the 1983 Miss Rodeo America, North Dakota's Brenda Lee Bonagofsky-Pickett.
Here then is the greatest flag on God's green earth today, this one, Old Glory. And if our flag could talk, here is what we think she might say. I was born on the 4th of July back in 1776, and as they say out west, I was bred right, because you see, my father was the Declaration of Independence and my mother was the Bill of Rights. I'm many things to many people, I'm America. I'm more than 220 million strong, and the ghosts of millions who lived and died for me. And ever since I've been a flag, there have been trouble spots in this old world, and I've always stayed until it was over there. And by so doing, I left many of my finest young men who made the supreme sacrifice to perpetuate my brand of liberty. And I left them in places like Tarawa and Iwo Jima during World War II, the slopes of Korea, and the steamy jungles of Vietnam, and lately in the Middle East. I'm a cotton field down south, and I'm a wheat field in the Midlands. And I'm old Freckles Brown riding a bull at the National Finals Rodeo that had never been ridden before. And I'm a wobbly-legged calf getting his first bit of nourishment from his mammy in the Western Range country. I'm 300,000 churches where my people worship, and I'm the hushed voice of a choir in a cathedral. You see, I was born in freedom, and God willing, in freedom I'll spend the rest of my days. May my people always have the strength, the honor, the integrity, and the courage to keep me free and a beacon of hope for the entire world. Yes, that's what I would say if I could talk. Our gracious and heavenly Father, Our gracious and heavenly Father, we pause in the midst of a very festive occasion as we prepare to present this sport spawned from an industry, the livestock, and whose men and women perpetuate those great individualistic traits of the men and women who settled the West. As cowboys, Lord, we don't ask you for any special favors. We don't ask that we never break a barrier at a timed event, that we draw around that shoot-fighting bull or the horse we know deep down we can't ride. But in life's arena, we ask your help and your guidance. Ride with us, if you will, and help us live the life you'd have us live, so that when we make that last ride that's inevitable, to the place up there where the grass is green and lush and stirrup high and the water is crystal clear and deep, you'll tell us as we enter there, our entry fees are paid. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association presents our salute to the government of the United States of America.
Our very impressive opening, performed beautifully by Clem McSpadden, who, by the way, is a former United States Congressman from Oklahoma, PRCA rodeo announcer, and general manager of the National Finals Rodeo.
What a beautiful introduction. And it's so heartwarming to know patriotic introductions such as that one are the norm in the sport of rodeo, whether a sitting president is in attendance or not. Four-time world champion saddle bronc rider Brad Germundson was having a great year in 1983. He had a great ride at the Command Performance Rodeo, but the event was eventually won by Bobby Berger. Here's Brad's ride from that wonderful day in September 1983.
Our next contestant, Brad Germundson, out of North Dakota. And his career has taken him a long way. It's taken him to a world championship in '81, now to Washington, D.C., and back in the lead for the title here in '83. We talked to Brad's parents a little earlier this week. They traveled to Washington, D.C. to watch their son compete in the presidential rodeo, and, of course, to take a tour of Washington, D.C., and, of course, it has to be a very, very exciting time for this North Dakota family. Speaking of our qualification, or selection, as we should say, of the contestants for the presidential rodeo, obviously, we'd like to have had all of our membership, or all of the cowboys and cowgirls competing here. Of course, it was physically impossible, but the champions and the title contenders, the people that we have here, I think are representing our sport of pro rodeo with a lot of dignity.
was very nice hearing them mention Brad's parents, Stanley, and the late Sharon Germundson. What an experience that must have been for them, seeing their son ride and rubbing shoulders with all those dignitaries in attendance that evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Dakota Cowboy is very proud to present the 40th President of the United States of America, Ronald Reagan.
Don't let these few pieces of paper scare you. I once had a lesson in the importance of brevity in a speech. I had made a speech, and in the audience was the late Bill Alexander, a preacher from Oklahoma, and he took it upon himself to tell me the story of his first sermon, and I thought there was a connection. He said that he'd worked his first appearance in the pulpit. He'd worked for weeks on this first sermon, and then he was to preach at an evening service in a little country church in Oklahoma. He stood up in the pulpit that night and looked out at a church that was empty except for one lone little fellow sitting down there in all the empty pews. So after the music, he went down and he said, "Look, my friend, I'm just a young preacher getting started. You seem to be the only member of the congregation that showed up. What about it? Should I go through with it?" The fellow said, "Well, I'm a little old cowpoke out here in Oklahoma. I don't know much about that sort of thing, but I do know this. If I loaded up a truckload of hay, took it out in the prairie, and only one cow showed up, I'd feed her." Well, Bill took that as a cue, got back up in the pulpit, and an hour and a half later said, "Amen." And he went back down and he said, "My friend, you seem to have stuck with me, and like I told you, I was a young preacher getting started. What did you think?" "Well," he says, "like I told you, I don't know about that sort of thing. But I do know this. If I loaded up a truckload of hay, took it out in the prairie, and only one cow showed up, I sure wouldn't give her the whole load." Secretary Baldridge, Ken Stemler, and all of you, welcome to the White House, and congratulations to all of you winners. This has been a very special day. Watching you out there riding those bulls, I knew that I was among a group that understands what it's like to get a legislative program through Congress. Secretary Baldridge has proven himself a multi-talented cabinet member. Every time we come up to a real problem, he has the same solution. "I'll rope him, you tie him." After watching all of you in action, I think Mac and I could put you all to work up here. When I was about the age of some of you, I joined the horse cavalry, and in those days they still had horses in the Army, and I've enjoyed them ever since. It was heartwarming today to see the children out there from the Therapeutic Riding Association. I think we can all be happy that the National Therapeutic Riding Center provides these very special kids this kind of experience. And I know the results have proven that something I learned back in the cavalry is true. And that is that there's nothing so good for the inside of a person as the outside of a horse. American Cowboy remains a figure that is dear to the hearts of American people. The men and women of the Old West may not have been as slick as they were sometimes portrayed by Hollywood, but there was a certain integrity of character that shines through as we look back at them from the vantage place of history. Now, today we have an author with us, an author who has made enormous contributions to Western folklore and our frontier heritage. Louis L'Amour's storytelling ability has made him one of the most widely read novelists in American history. 140 million copies of his books have been sold. He's written 87 books, many of which have been adapted for motion pictures and television. He's a man who, like the rodeo. See, I've been east too long. Brought the West to the people of the East and to people everywhere. Former Senator Milton Young, Senators Andrews and Armstrong, along with Congressman Carlos Moorhead, have spearheaded an effort that I'm proud to participate in today. If Louis will step forward. There you are. You sneaked up on me, just like Beaudry.
That's right.
Well, I have the honor to present to you a very special Congressional Gold Medal. It is for your literary contributions, your contributions to the appreciation of the West, and you are the first novelist who has ever been honored by Congress with this medal.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, today, Louis L'Amour and those of you from the rodeo You represent this great tradition of the American West, and I know America means a lot to you. I just want you to know that you mean much more to America. I wish you success and good health. Thanks for the fine exhibition today. And now, because of the business that I used to be in, I've saved the applause line for last. Let's eat.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are so very proud of North Dakota's delegation at that rodeo. Brenda Lee Bonagowski-Pickett, Brad Germundson, Stanley and Sharon Germundson, and Louis L'Amour. We'll be back in just a few moments here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
Welcome to the start of Main Street, the main medical building located at 315 Main, downtown Minot. The unique shops inside offer body and mind healing, a safe haven for mothers-to-be, mixed martial arts, hair salons, massages, counseling services, and much more. Also, keep a special lookout for a brand new Jamaican-inspired restaurant opening this fall. Take a stroll inside the main medical building and uncover the unique shops and experiences that lay within. Discover the start of Main Street at the main medical building today.
Hi, Rich from Law Motors. 45 years ago, Dad started selling cars. 35 years ago, I started selling cars. And 15 years ago, Tyler started selling cars.
And I'm Mom, and I told all of them, just be nice.
Whether you have guns, ammo, vehicles, toys, or collectibles, consign with Last Chance Auction and we can help put money in your pocket. Give us a call at 334-SOLD or visit lastchancesd.com for upcoming auctions.
Man has worked in sync with Mother Nature since the beginning of time. Relying on her to provide sufficient moisture every growing season is a roll of the dice. You can now insure your pastures and rangelands with Rainfall Index policy available from Chamley Financial. This will give you the peace of mind by knowing you will be protected from the adverse effects of Mother Nature. Contact Chamley Financial today, 719-338-3428, or go to chamleyfinancial.com.
JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision has built a reputation as one of the most reputable and reliable body shops in this region. With nearly 30 years in business, customers count on JR's to get it done right the first time. They'll work with your insurance company to smoothen the process. From their 40-foot frame straightening machine, Sickens paint, and the latest technology in the repair industry, they're the only name you need to know. For auto, semi, RV, and trailer repair, it's JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision, North Dickinson. Call 701-483-6778. JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision. For more than 70 years, farmers and ranchers have relied on Dickinson Ready Mix for all their concrete needs. Whether it's a shop building for machinery storage or paved feedlots for your livestock, grain bins for on-site grain storage, or precast pads for automatic cattle waterers, Dickinson Ready Mix has been there to provide quality concrete for all your agricultural structures and infrastructure. For your next project, call Dickinson Ready Mix to discuss the benefits that concrete can add to your operation.
Okay, we're looking for ideas for our next commercial. Thoughts?
We have a fully stocked lot. Cars, trucks, SUVs.
Clearly.
We strive for honesty, transparency, and a better buying experience.
Of course we do. Guys, think, everybody's busy. Nobody has time to spend hours shopping for a car. Has to be simple, easy.
Sales, service, simplified.
Perfect. Torgerson Auto Center, East Bismarck Expressway. Sales, service, simplified.
Welcome back to Dakota Cowboy here on Beck TV, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. In this segment, we feature the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, Hall of Honorees Inductee of the Week, presented by Torgerson Auto Center on East Bismarck Expressway. If you need a new vehicle to get you to where you need to go for your summer vacation this year, don't hesitate to contact the great staff at Torgerson Auto Center. Find them at torgersonautocenter.com. Find them on Facebook. Better yet, find them on East Bismarck Expressway, Torgerson Auto Center. Well, we're doing something a little bit different in this segment today. He was not an inductee of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, but he was one of the first inducted in the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. And in 2017, Larry Mahan shared his time with us as our featured guest speaker at the induction ceremonies. We're saddened to learn this week of the passing of one of the greatest cowboys ever, Larry Mahan. And today, Dakota Cowboy, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Torgerson Auto Center, and all our sponsors remember Larry Mahan.
Well, it is an honor to be here. And I'd like to start out, do we have any veterans in the house here or current members of our military? If they're here, I'd love for you to stand up. And we thank you for your service. Thank you. Thanks to these people, we have the opportunity to enjoy the freedoms to have events like this today. But it's such an honor to be here with such a fine group of people who are being inducted into the Hall. And again, as Jim had mentioned, anybody that is inducted into a Hall of Fame has the respect of their peers, but the contributions that they've made to the sport or the lifestyle that the Western culture and lifestyle that we have a chance to enjoy in this day and age, it's a real honor for them to be inducted into the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. And this Hall of Fame, if I'm sure most of you have been there, but it's one of the finest that I've ever been to. And again, to keep the culture and the heritage alive is something that is so important in this day and age. And there was a gentleman there today that I think he does Teddy Roosevelt gig on the corners around town here, and he gave me a card, and I love what it said. It says, "Do what you can with what you have where you are." And Teddy Roosevelt obviously played a huge part in the popularity of this country and has made great contributions during this time. And you know, our Western culture is something that really boils down to it's hard work, discipline, self-reliance, independence, family, community, and the Lord. And that's what made this great country of ours. So we're so blessed in this day and age, even with all the chaos that's going on out in the different parts of the world, that we can still enjoy everything that this fine country has to offer. And I'd mentioned last night that the rodeo game, to me, it afforded me the ability to go into a lot of different areas. We were in the clothing business for quite a while, and we still do Western hats. But the bottom line, it was a great way to avoid responsibility, because 8 seconds is a lot easier than 8 hours a day. Or for you guys that are real ranchers and you ranch up here in the winter, I think 8 hours would be an easy day for you. When they talk about getting out and feeding cattle at 30 degrees below zero, my ranch would probably make the headlines, "All the Mahan's cows died last night." That's a tough one. And Brenda Lee, I mean, she went out there and she did a lot of waving to all the people, and then all of a sudden there was a young cowboy that, I don't remember what year they got married. Do you remember, Brenda, what year that was? 88. How many years did that husband of yours follow you around proposing to you? I've heard some stories on that, but I mean, Dee Pickett, he was relentless, wasn't he? You know, and that's why he was the world's champ, because he had set a goal, and that's what rodeo is all about. You have to set a goal and try to reach that goal each and every time you ride into that box or climb over that chute gate. And of course, my job at that time was about 8 seconds at a time, and I'm sure that Dee probably had to work longer than 8 seconds. I mean, working those timed events is tough. You know, I'm sure you roped some steers in 10 and 15 seconds and still won money, didn't you? Now, did you hold any arena records? I'd love for you all to meet Dee Pickett. He was one of my heroes. Dee, would you come up here for just a minute? Come on up here. Come up here. Come on up here. Now, this is one of the great world champions right here from Nampa, Idaho. And he won a lot more money winning the all-around that I did. How much did you win your big year?
I won a little over $30,000 at the finals that year.
30,000 at the finals. Did you get on 30 head of bucking horses and bulls, or how many head of cattle did you have to run?
You know, I felt like I roped good enough. I didn't have to ride bucking horses.
Oh, that's good. How'd you do in the steer wrestling?
No, Jerry Bigley told me something once.
Speak up here. Step a little closer.
Jerry Bigley told me once, you know, he was a bull rider in my area. He said, you know, your dad must have recognized early on that you were going to be way too big to be a top bull rider. I said, that's exactly right.
Do you rope anymore?
Nope.
Why?
I just moved on to business endeavor, and that takes up my time, and I can't really tell you why, except I can't tell you why.
What did you have going for you that Brenda Lee liked to the point that she finally said after all those years that you chased her around that she said, yes, I will marry you? I mean, what was so special about you?
There was absolutely nothing special about me. There was something very special about her. And as you know, in the rodeo business, you have to have a certain amount of determination. That's what I had.
One of the great champions right here, D. Pickett. Hey, thanks for coming up, D. He was one of my heroes in that timed event world. You know, once in a while, an ornery side of me just shows up. $30,000 at the NFR. My biggest NFR, I get on 30 head of 10 bucking horses, 10 bulls, 10 bareback horses. And my big win that year in '73, and I was the big winner at the finals, was $6,000. Now, you threw a rope. You went in 2 events that year, right? 20 times, and you get $30,000. And the girl, no justice. There is no justice. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a great ride, and I hope that everybody here has had an opportunity to go to the North Dakota Hall of Fame down here, because it's a slice of history, and they're keeping it alive, and it takes a lot of support from a lot of people to make this happen, and Rick Thompson, Jim, and everybody involved on the committees that makes that possible. I take my hat off to you, because it is one of the best I've ever seen. You can spend days in there just going around and seeing what it was like back when it was really tough. But one thing about country like this, I mean, it might have been tough back then because they didn't have tractors, but it is probably just almost as tough right now. And I have the book of Fran's, My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys, and she gave Julianne and I a copy last night, and I stayed up for hours reading it. And I'll tell you one thing: I'm not tough enough to be a North Dakota cowboy. This is a tough deal up here in the winter. But what a piece of heaven, and such a beautiful place you all live in. And Rick said I could stay up here for a couple of hours, but I'd have to rewrite some of the same stories I told last night. But one thing that I'm sure you all don't know, you're looking at, you know, bull steer wrestlers are usually pretty big guys. And I like to rope. I never was big enough to rope calves, because back then they roped calves that were big. And they bulldog steers that were about the size of some of the bulls that you see in the bull riding. But I was the 1962 steer wrestling champion in Arizona. What do you mean, oh no? There was 3 of us in it. And Brad Germundson is also one of my young heroes, and I think you all can be very proud of him. He told me that he won the saddle bronc riding championship 10 times, but young man John was interviewing him a while ago, and Brad tried to tell him that he'd won it 10 times, and he says, no, he said, I've done my homework. He said, you only won it 4 times, Brad. And for you all that don't know Brad, he usually doesn't exaggerate like that, but no, but one of the all-time great saddle bronc riding champions right here in North Dakota, and proud to call him a friend of mine, Brad Germundson. He's probably out in his pickup drinking beer right now. Are you around here, Brad? Where are you, Brad? Brad, would you come up here for a minute, please? He's gonna do a little bit of a bashful act for you here. But I do have a couple of questions I'd like to ask you. 4-time saddle bronc riding champ of the world, Brad Germundson. Brad, I don't have any questions. I just want you to go to talking because I've run out of things to say. How many times did you win Cheyenne?
Twice.
How many times did you win the finals bronc riding?
Twice. Yep.
How tough was it when you finally got to that point that you realized that it was time to hang it up?
It was it was real hard to walk away from it, but I just felt like I wasn't doing the job that I couldn't keep it up any longer. I had family and ranch and got spread too thin, so it was hard to not enter, but it was just hard to not pick up the phone every day and look at the sports news and enter what you wanted to go to, and it took a couple years to really get over that, you know.
Was it harder to stay on them than it was when you were at the top of your game?
No, well, harder to stay on the
bronc.
Oh, no, yeah, it was harder to not enter than it was to stay on. Yes.
Tell us about what you're doing on television right now with RFD.
Oh, well, it's called Special Cowboy Moments, and I'm sure everybody, or a lot of you here, have seen it. Kevin Holton has a program, and I've just been part of about 3 or 4 episodes, and it's really a nice thing because it's on RFD now, and gets, you know, it was showed locally here in the state for a few months or a year, and now I get calls, a lot of calls from all over the United States, people picking up and getting tuned into that show, and they really enjoy it, and I think it's great for all of the Western way of life.
And he's doing a great job. I hope you all get a chance to catch it. Brad, thank you. One of my heroes when I was a kid right here. I grew up watching him ride broncs. But it's an honor to be here and such a treat to be able to spend some time in Medora. And again, congratulations to everybody that's involved with this North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, because it is the culture and heritage that is alive and well in this part of the country, or at least it seems like it is to me. And it takes a lot of hard work, and if you have a chance, get by the hall and do anything you can to support it, because these things are not inexpensive to operate. But congratulations to all of you. Now we're going to move on with the important part of this program. Thank you all. God bless you very much. Thank you.
It was certainly fun spending time with Larry Mahan that summer, and everything that he brought to the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. We greatly appreciate it. He told me I was a good auctioneer. We'll miss him. Rest easy, Cowboy, and thanks for spending time with us here in the great state of North Dakota. Thinking of you, buddy. This segment has been brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Okay, we're looking for ideas for our next commercial. Thoughts?
We have a fully stocked lot. Cars, trucks, SUVs.
Clearly.
We strive for honesty, transparency, and a better buying experience.
Of course we do. Guys, think, everybody's busy. Nobody has time to spend hours shopping for a car. Has to be simple, easy.
Sales, service, simplified.
Perfect. Torgerson Auto Center, East Bismarck Expressway. Sales, service, simplified.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets, sleepwear, dog beds.
Whoa, Charles. Everyone now can get MyPillow products at huge discounts at MyPillow.com. That's right. Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our 3-in-1 sale. We're bringing you exciting new products, overstock specials, and closeout deals you won't find anywhere else. For example, when you buy one of our brand new MyPillow 2.0s, you get another one absolutely free. And with our overstock sale, you save 50% on our luxurious Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.99 for the best sheets ever. And with our biggest closeout special, you get our all-season slippers for only $35, or our sandals and slides for just $25. Quantities are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I'm a sixth generation farmer, husband, patriot, father. And as much as I'd love to just sit here under this shade tree and celebrate my own place on my front porch, truth of the matter is that people don't know who, where, and how is producing their food. So travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
Medora Boot and Western Wear open year-round in historic Medora. You'll find quality items for cowboys and cowgirls of all ages. Medora Boot and Western Wear has over 1,500 pair of boots on hand at all times. New this year, the R. Watson brand of boot, featuring an all-leather heel, riveted shank, and a 10-iron leather sole. Jeans, shirts, hats, caps, and more, and customer service is #1. Medora Boot and Western Wear in historic Medora.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. Tack glasses improve optical clarity so you can see clearly, even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our tack glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing!
Act now to get your tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. So don't delay. Order yours today.
To order, call 1-800-288-9503. That's 1-800-288-9503, or order online at trytackglasses.com. 1-800-288-9503.
And we're back one more time here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Make plans to join us in Medora June 16th and 17th for the 2024 Miss Rodeo North Dakota pageant, along with the 2023 induction ceremonies. Rooms will fill up quick that weekend, so make your reservation at your favorite hotel or motel in historic Medora as soon as you can. A big thank you to all our guests today, and a big thank you for watching. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another Dakota Cowboy presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust here on Beck TV. I'm Wild Bill. See you in the future, if not in the pasture. Adios.
We are rewriting Hollywood's script for our kids. I'm pop culture expert Tina Griffin, and as a former Hollywood actress, I'm giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how today's entertainment is eroding the foundational development of America's youth and how to safely navigate this pop culture chaos. Knowledge is power. Parents want solutions. It's time to get the power back in your hands and reclaim the right to decide who and what should influence your kids.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Central Time on Beck TV.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I'm a sixth generation farmer, husband, patriot, father. And as much as I'd love to just sit here under this shade tree and celebrate my own place on my front porch, truth of the matter is that people don't know who, where, and how is producing their food. So travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
Now you can have the personalized forecast at your fingertips when you need it. Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.